Welcome to tonight's session where we'll be talking about how you can increase your product sales online. All right, so what we'll be talking about today is how you can increase your product sales online. How can you sell more products? If you've joined my session before, you know that I typically talk about online sales, profits, getting distributors, and building a brand that is sustainable and also very profitable, right? So now, talking about online sales, there are different levels that your business has to go through from starting phase to scaling to expansion, right? So the first level is the starter phase where you're still trying to establish your brand online. You're trying to create content that will resonate with your audience. You're trying to understand how to sell online massively. You're setting up your online sales system. Then the second level is where you've established your brand to some extent, and then you're now ready to start getting multiple daily sales every day. We call that the scaling level. Then we also have the expansion level where you're looking to structure a business to run without you. And you're also looking at getting distributors that would help you to expand your business, help you to sell more products across different locations. So if I would ask, what level do you think you are in? So I would love to know in the comments, what level do you think your business is in at this time? Is it the starter level or the scaling level, or you are at the expansion level? What level? I would love to know who is in the house so that I would also know how to tailor the strategies I'm going to share with you to meet you at the point of your business level. Okay? Okay, I'm seeing starter level, scaling level, scaling level, starter level. So it's a mixture of starters and people who are ready to scale, right? Okay. I'm loving this mix. So basically, we're going to talk about one, how you can start and build a brand. And then we'd also talk about how to scale your sales. And then I will also take questions. So, like you already know, my name is Amoroko. Let me just do a very quick introduction so that you know who is actually facilitating this session tonight and why I qualify to take you through this journey. So my name is Amoroko Litasi. I'm based in Lagos, Nigeria. I own two companies. One is Maracruz Organics, a hair care brand that sells hair products like shampoo, conditioners for kids and adults. And then my second company is the Manufacturers Hub, which is a training institute where we train people who sell products, physical products, product-based businesses. So whether you're a supplier, you're a manufacturer, you're a distributor, wholesaler, retailer, dropshipper, so far you're selling physical products, we'll show you how to increase your online sales and profits. Now, how did I get into the business of training others? So remember I said my first company is Maracruz. So you can Google us, you can go on Instagram or Facebook to check us out, Maracruz Organics, right? I think I saw one of our distributors here, Michelle from Abuja. I think I saw, I don't know if she's still here. Okay, so at running my own company, right, Maracruz Organics, we started in 2015, and the one key thing that really worked for us in our journey to growing the business and scaling is leveraging on online sales. So we're able to leverage on online sales to scale the business. Even before we moved to a physical location, we were already selling massively online. We're already getting distributors, right? So that was possible because I understood early on the power of online sales, like the power of social media, the power of technology, the power of the internet, right? So fast forward 2015, 2018, 3 years, we already moved from home to our own, like the factory space where we currently are, right? And scaling, expanding, and growing. Why? Because I understood early on how to leverage the power of the internet to reach our target audience wherever they are in the world. So whether they're in Nigeria, they're in Ghana, they're in Kenya, like wherever they are. So far they have access to online, access to the internet. We're able to reach them. So in 2018, I started teaching other people because this is something I enjoy doing. This is something that's been working for my business. So I started teaching people from my practical experience how they can also replicate what I've done in my own business has been successful in their own businesses as well. Initially, we started training manufacturers, right? But we then started getting requests from people who are not manufacturers, but they also sell physical products. And last year, we were like, you know what? People who sell physical products like distributors, drop shippers, wholesalers, suppliers are all connected to the manufacturing industry. Like they're all part of the supply chain, right? So why not train them as well? Because like the more products we're able to sell, the more we are building the manufacturing ecosystem, whether you're a manufacturer or whatever level you are in the category you are in the supply chain, right? So last year we also started training people who sell physical product but are not manufacturers. So now the institute trains people who are product-based business owners, and also your employees or people who want to learn how to sell physical products. Maybe they're working for a manufacturing company or they're working for a product-based business owner. So that is, I don't know, not so quick introduction, but I just really wanted you to know who I am and why I qualify to take you through this journey. So at Maracruz, we sell over 100,000 products every year. We currently have almost 200 distributors, and we have thousands of customers every month, like across both the ones our distributors sell to and the ones we sell to also from our headquarters. Right. So now that I've established that, like the reason why you need to listen to me tonight, let's now go into what to do at each level. So the Manufacturers Hub has training programs that helps you depending on your business level. I would love to start with the starter level. So I'll be sharing my screen now so that you see the solution we have for people at the starter level. Let me know when you can see my screen, okay? Let me know when you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? I'm speaking to, and see, even if you feel you are at the scaling level, I want you to listen because there are some things that you might have skipped at your starter level. There are things that you might have skipped at the starter level that you'll be like, oh, wow, okay, so I needed to do this, you know? Yeah, so I would love everybody to actually, you know, pay attention. Don't say, oh, I've passed starting level. There's always something to learn. All right, so let me know what can you see on my screen? What can you see on my screen? Let me know. What can you see on my screen? Let me get my chart so that I can also see the charts coming in. Brand building. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? What do you need at the starter level? What do you need first before you start talking about anything? What do you need to do? Even see, brand building is not even something you will say, oh, I've completed brand building. Even us, we're still building Maracruz. Like it is something that you need to keep on doing. So what do you need to do at the start? And a lot of time people skip this step because they feel like I just want to make sales, and then they're struggling, chasing customers, you know, just doing everything. They will see one challenge, they will jump into the challenge, maybe they will make some money there, and then he stopped working, they will jump again because they've not done the fundamental work they need in order to really make sales online. So at the starter level, the key thing that you need to do is to build your brand. And how do you build that brand? That's what I want to take you through today, showing you the solution that we have and exactly what you need to do. Okay, so the first thing you need to do when we talk about brand building is market research. Let me know how many of us here actually conducted a market research before we started our business. Did you conduct a market research, and do you still do market research in your business? I know everyone here has heard about market research, but did you actually do that? Can you tell me how you did yours? Because that's the number one thing you need to do when you talk about selling anything. You first need to do a research. So can somebody share here quickly, like, what did you do when you were doing your research? What did you search for? Like, what did you do? What did you do? Let me know, like, very quickly. If you also want to talk, you can raise your hand and I can unmute you. Just share briefly, like, what you did. You can type it, you can talk about it, because this is like the first ever thing that you need to do. The first, you can't skip brand market research and start creating content. Like, you can't. You can't skip it. Can somebody here share? What did you do? So I think I have like 3 or 4 people. Okay, so Martha says, I search for everyone doing the same product I want to produce. Fantastic. See, she searched, market research. She searched for everyone doing the same product. She's looking out for some things. She's looking out for something. So in the first step of brand building, so we teach you how to do market research the right way. How do you conduct an effective market research? So I don't know if you can see this very well, but like I can just talk you through it because the writing is quite tiny. I don't know how well. Let me try and zoom out a little bit so you can see my screen. All right. So how do you conduct market research? We'll teach you that. And then you would also learn how to do market research across different things. One is understanding your target market. 2 is understand there's something we call the play field. I think it's a name that I don't know if you understand that, but it's a name that I coined myself. Market play field. Like, you know how you're in a football field, everybody is playing, strategizing to win. So there you have footballers in different sides and everybody's playing to win, right? That's the analogy that I use when I'm talking about understanding your competition, right? Or understanding the market you're playing in. You're playing to win. No, but like you didn't come to play. Did anybody here start business to play? Like what I mean by play is not like the playing in the market, but you didn't come and then you want to be on serious. No, you actually started business and you want to win. So how do you discover how you can play in the marketplace to win? So a lot of times I see people saying things like, oh, my competition, there's a lot of competition in this business I'm doing. I'm like, it's not about the competition. It's about how you're playing. It's about how you're playing in the field. How are you playing? So market research will help you to discover how to play in the market field. And then you will now see how to position your brand and products, right? Then as you start selling your product, there's also what we call product validation. Who here validated their product before they started selling it? Like you actually validated your product. If you did, let me know in the comments as well. So you also see, how do I validate my product? And if my product did not pass the validation test, what do I do to refine it, right? And remember I said our training is across different supply chain. So even if you do not manufacture the product, when you're doing your research, you'll be able to see the right kind of product that is already been accepted in the market. So whether you're a distributor or you're a wholesaler, you're researching for the kind of product that actually fits the market that you want to serve, right? So we talk about all of that in the first module of our brand building course. Then we also look at how do you analyze to make sure the market you're playing in is profitable. What's the market size and all? Then you will now learn how to analyze all this data, your market research data, to find out how you can use the information you gathered to build your brand. That is the number one fundamental, market research, because it's how effective your market research is, or the data that you got is what will actually help you to attract paying customers online. If you're just posting content anyhow, without doing this step first, that will help you to gather the data of even informing the kind of content that you should create, you are missing out on something very critical that will help you to build your brand in order to sell more products, right? Then the second step is now building that brand. Let me open it up. So now, how do you build the brand? How do you position your brand online? How do you position your products? There are 2 things. There's brand positioning, there's product position. Who here knows that there are 2 different things? Do you know? Let me know, please. I want this to be very interactive because I'm looking at the charts. Do you know that there's a difference between brand positioning and product positioning? Like, your brand is the vehicle that you use to sell your products. You need to first position the brand, then you now position the product. Are you aware that there are two different things? Brand positioning and product positioning. So you will now learn how to do this, how to position your brand and product, how to ensure that your brand is consistent. And I'm not just talking about things like logos and colors. Of course, it's part of it. But beyond that, your brand message, your values, it needs to be consistent across any channel that you want to use, right? Then you have to tell stories. Like, this one is very, very personal to me. If you're in my WhatsApp community or Telegram, you see I was talking about that when I was recording this particular lesson. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I'm sharing my secrets, because brand story is something that will really help you to connect deeply with your target audience. So how do you craft a compelling brand story? How do you craft it? How do you tell stories for your brand? I'll also be covering that, okay? We'll be covering that in the second module. Then we'll look at how to ensure that your product is unique. If you're buying to resell, how do you ensure that the product I'm buying is unique and it actually solves the problem in the society? Then you now see how to promote your product using, of course, contents. How do you create the content that will help you to market your products? How do you create offers? In the last 2 weeks, I've been having conversations with people in our DM, and oftentimes I say, okay, can you drop your page? Let's take a look. Because some people are like, I don't know if I'm ready for art. I'm like, drop a page. Let's take a look at that. And then I see sometimes that the way we are posting is more like come and buy without any compelling offer that will move people to want to buy. So you can't be posting your product and like be writing content that just shows come and buy without telling people why do they need to buy. Why do they need to buy from you? What is the offer really that you're giving, right? Because if you don't do all these things and you go straight to running ads, you will not be able to actually run that ads in a way that is profitable, right? Remember that I said it's all about making sales and making profits. You can't be making sales and then there is no profit and you just continue doing that business. At the end of the day, you will not be fully satisfied with running that business because there's no profit, right? Then the final module is now where we now look at, oh, we're generating leads now. People are reaching out. How do we move them from just interested to buying customers? So we're talking about sales process. We're talking about customer service. We're talking about customer experience. How do you design an effective sales process? How do you understand the life cycle or lifetime value of your customers? I'd love to ask. I've asked the questions now. I've not seen any response. Do we know what lifetime value is? Because, a lot of times we talk about, I want to get repeat purchase. I want to get repeat purchase. Do we understand the value of one customer in your business? The value, lifetime value of one customer. Have you sat down to actually, do that calculation to see what is the lifetime value of this customer? If anybody has thought towards that direction, you can also let me know in the chat. Okay. So you design your customer experience, you learn the kind of content to put on your website to ensure that you're making the right sales on your website. So your website is not just where people go and they don't even know what to do. Your website should work in a way that when you're driving traffic, when you eventually start running, that's when you start scaling and you're driving traffic to your website, people go there, and the things they see will move them to buy. So some people will still shut you up, but it will reduce the number of people that are actually shutting you up because some of them are buying from you. So you see the kind of content to put on your website. If you're using a web designer, you see the content to tell them to put on your website. And of course, like I always say, making sales is a continuous journey. It is not something that you say, oh, I've arrived. There's no arrival. Like you cannot say I've arrived and then you go and sleep. If you sleep, your sales will slow, right? So you need to know that making sales is a continuous journey. You keep on scaling your business, you keep on making more money, and then you keep on progressing. So at this point, I would love to stop sharing this screen and take questions. I will take questions for people that are on this starting phase. Do you understand the steps that you need to go through, the things you need to do? You cannot afford to skip brand building. If you skip brand building, you will struggle to make sales. So if you're currently not making sales online, or you're making sales like 3 times in a month, it means that you really need to do a lot of brand building work, and then you can now start scaling. Okay, so do you have any questions so far on the scaling? I think I've seen a couple of people here that already joined this brand building course. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I saw some names here of people that already joined, because we're starting on Thursday. We're starting on Thursday, and the registration is closing tomorrow for this starter course, the brand building course. So if you're interested in joining us, like, you have to join between tonight and tomorrow. So the new cohort is starting on Thursday. Okay. So do we have any questions around building your brand online? I'd love to take them before we go to the scaling stage. Before we go to the scaling stage, do we have any questions? I'm looking at the charts. Okay, so let me see. Khadija is asking, how much is brand building cost? So brand building cost is 100,000, but currently we've subsidized it to 25,000, because we understand that a lot of people are at that starting phase and they really need an affordable course that would help them to get started. So currently, I don't know about tomorrow. I don't know, when I say tomorrow, it's like, I don't know about the future, but right now it is subsidized to 25,000. That is in Naira. If you're in another country that is not Nigeria, Mumi would be dropping the link where you can actually go and see the pricing in your own currency. Okay. So currently it's subsidized at the price point of 25,000. Godwin is saying, how long would it last? I don't know how long it will last. Sadly, I don't know, because, like, pricing is as a result of different things. Like, markets can change, and then we decide to increase our price. Like, I can't guarantee how long it's going to last. But right now, this is what we are offering it at, because, like, we want to keep it as affordable and as accessible as we can. But if market changes and we need to increase the price, like, then it is what it is. But right now, we're keeping it at 25,000. Okay. And registration is closing tomorrow for new cohort that is starting on Thursday. All right. So do you have more questions aside from the price of the course? Do you have more questions around brand building before we move on to scaling? Because I want us to not to exceed 1 hour, so that's, like, we don't keep a lot of people waiting. Um, Kemi said, how long do we have access to it after payments? How long? Okay, if you mean the time frame, it is 1 year. Like, 1 year is what we promise, that you have access to the course for 1 year. But if you mean when you can start watching it, then the course is starting on Thursday. That is in 2 days' time. On Thursday, that's when the course is starting. Then says, is pricing included in it? No, pricing is not included. Let me share something with you. Okay? Pricing is not included. So we have, let me know when you can see my screen. Let me show you something. So we actually have different courses for different levels. So this is just one of the course on our starting level. We also have the pricing course, which is what just asked. So if you're starting now, if you go to this page, Wumi, please share the link to this page. Share the link to this page. So ready to increase your online sales starter level, you click on here, starter level. So one is the brand building course. Then the second is the pricing for profit. So there are two different courses. Pricing is not inside. So if you want to get the pricing course, that is a different course on its own that is focused on helping you, if you're a manufacturer, to learn how to calculate your cost of production, learn how to determine the profit to put on your products. Remember, I said I'm very key in profit. Like, I can't afford to run a business that is not profitable, right? So I always teach my students how to determine the right profit to add on their cost so that when they now sell, they are profitable. You also see the different ways to make more profits in your business. So that entire how to calculate your cost, how to fix the right price, even understanding the different things around, like your business numbers, understanding your revenue, your profit, all the analysis that is around ensuring that your business is profitable. That's what we cover in the pricing course. So it covers the product pricing fundamentals, our 3-step pricing system, understanding your business costs and numbers, ways to increase your business profits, and how to scale your business with the right pricing system. So this is 25,000. So if you want to get both, then you can also go ahead and do that. All right. I hope that answers your question. So let me see. Since it's the first thing to do, then please let's have the link. Please, when will it close tomorrow? Tomorrow. So usually it's by midnight. It's usually by midnight, right? But the earlier you get in, the better. So you don't go and sleep and forget, right? Okay. So Ebote says, I sell skincare products. I really want to run ads. So now let's talk about the scaling. People at the starter level, please still join also, because like this thing is a journey. When you talk about business growth and all, is a journey, right? So still join us as we talk about how you can scale your business online. Because now Ebote has asked me a scaling question. He said, I sell skincare products and I really want to run ads. So if you want to run ads, then stay tuned as I take you through the program we have for people who are ready to scale. So there are two products we have for people who are ready to scale. One is the Facebook and Instagram Ads Bootcamp that shows you how to run profitable and effective ads. And the second one is the building your marketing and sales team. So oftentimes I notice that when people start running ads, they start getting a lot of inquiries and they're overwhelmed. It happens to my students all the time. So I now recorded like this workshop. In fact, it was a workshop that I recorded and we now put it on our online school so that anybody can get it and watch it, right? So I recorded this workshop to help my students see how they can build a team. How do they build a marketing and sales team so that when they start selling and start getting inquiries, they're not overwhelmed? Because see, at the end of beings, and we're juggling a lot of things, life-wise, family-wise, personal things, and business. You cannot afford to be doing business and then you're overwhelmed. You're overwhelmed. This evening, in fact, since 2 days ago, my daughter, my first girl, she was saying, oh, mommy, I just learned new notes in my piano, this thing. Come, let me play for you. I did not have the time. I'm like, okay, don't worry. Today, before I fix this class, because fixing this class was around afternoon, so I'm like, let me just do this class, right? So today, by 6 p.m. was when I rounded up with what I was doing. I had to quickly run down to say, let me stay 30 minutes with her before I come back up for this class, right? What I'm sharing this with you is that, like, we are juggling a lot of balls. We cannot afford to drop one, right? So having a team of people is what will make it easier. Wumi already set up this meeting. She already sent reminders and all, So building that team is something that you can start looking at when you start scaling your business, because if not, you'll be overwhelmed, because there's still life for us to live, right? We don't want to be overwhelmed with business. Now, having said that, let's now look at the arts question that someone asked. So what will you be learning? What will you be learning in the Facebook and Instagram Ads Bootcamp? The number one thing you learn is how to prepare your page to run ads. These are like for people who already have built their brand to some extent, but they just want to run ads as in the first thing they need to do is to clean up their page to be sure that my page is ready. Typically, it takes us like 1 week because this is a 6 weeks program. It's an intensive program for people that are ready to scale. The first week is cleaning up your page, removing anything that is not going to help you convert leads to customers, right? Then the second week, we'll be doing a strategy session where you learn how to create your ad strategy. I call it the profitable ad strategy. So you learn how to calculate your ad costs, so you know what you're looking out for when you start running ads. You learn how to understand like the kind of audience to target and how to spend your budget in order to make maximum return on your investment. So we'll create the strategy before we even start saying, let us now go to Meta Ads Manager to start running any ads. So the first 2 weeks is preparation that we are doing. Whatever thing I teach, I love to take people from beginning to end of that thing and not just jumping steps that at the end of the day, you'll not be struggling, right? So after that first 2 weeks, we'll now set up our ads. And by the final, like this third and fourth week, your ads should be running. And it now falls on the end of the month when people have money to spend. So you'll be getting that ginger that, oh my God, I'm making sales. You know, the third and fourth week is actually when the alert starts dropping. Then the fifth and sixth week is actually you improving your ads and getting more support. So it's a 6-week intensive program. You have access to the course and you also have access to our tech support team. Like we have a team of people who are there in the group and also during live sessions to help you answer any questions you have. The focus of the bootcamp is sales. That's it. How to multiply your sales, how to get daily bank alerts, how to make multiple sales in a day, right? So now I'm on the Facebook Ads Bootcamp page. I'll click on program curriculum to just show us a brief overview before I go on with the questions. So you see what I just said, week 1. You're preparing your page for ads. Your website, what are the things you need to put there, the captions and all. Then on week 2, we are creating our ad strategy. Week 3, we're setting up Meta Ads platform to start running ads. If you have a website, you learn how to fix your pixel, your website events. Then week 4, ending of the month, because we're starting May 2nd. So by week 4, see what I said here, the week our daily alert starts pouring in. So you learn how to now run different types of ads on week 4. You learn how to run ads from your phone to Instagram, as in Instagram ads. You learn how to create ads from scratch on Meta Ads Manager. You learn how to target different audiences with one campaign. You learn how to run different ads on one audience. Like if you put in, let's say now you put in $10 in an audience, you can decide to use 4 contents to see the one that will perform well. Then you also learn how to leverage on AI. Now, Facebook has rolled out a lot of AI features, Advantage Plus audience. If you're running, as you know what I'm talking about, Advantage Plus audience, Advantage Plus content, Advantage Plus this one, like all those AI things that really helps to make it easier now to get better results. Then you also learn how to, if you have a WhatsApp group or a Telegram group, how to fill up your groups. You learn how to get daily messages on your WhatsApp, your Facebook and Instagram. If you have a website, you learn how to get sales on your website. Then you also learn how to run retargeting ads. So retargeting ads is basically the retargeting people who already have connected with your business before. People who have watched, all the people that watched your videos, your reels, you see all of them, we're going to retarget them. All the people that visited your website, that's if you have a website is always optional. All the people that visited your website, we are going to chase them with our ads. All the people that liked, commented, sent a DM, fire, we're going to chase them. Like, once people have taken an action on your page, you can run retargeting ads to show your ads to those people. And let me give you a secret. Like, those people are the ones that would buy more because they've seen your brand before. So they're getting to know, like, and trust you. Okay? Then the final 2 weeks is now where we keep on improving our ads to make more sales. You also learn how to interpret your ads data, how to study your ads, because a lot of times, I don't know if I said this in this class, I'm a very analytical person. I don't joke with my numbers. I also teach my students how to understand their numbers. So whatever thing I'm teaching you, whether I'm teaching you pricing, whether I'm teaching you running ads, like whatever thing I'm teaching you, I'm always teaching you how do you analyze your numbers to understand what is happening in your business, right? So you will learn how to analyze the data that you see when you're running at the results to see the things to improve on, the things to optimize, and then if there are ads that you need to pause, you can also pause those ads. Then you now learn how to increase your budget for the ads that are performing well. We call it scaling ads that are performing well. And then on the closing party, the final day, we'll be sharing wins, celebrating lessons, and all of that. In fact, inside the bootcamp group, we have a dedicated channel. We call it a wall for wins and celebration. When you're feeling down, like, oh, I'm not making sense, you just go there and be reading inspirational posts from other people, and just gingers you and spurs you on to continue running ads. Because if it's working for other people, then it can also work for you. It's about how determined you are to make it work. All right. I hope that answers your questions, Ebote. Then I'll be taking questions from Duchess. Please, I really need the one you are talking about, the marketing online stuff. So, Wumi, can you just drop the link so that people can go through and see the one they want and they can just get it? Wumi, are you still here with me? By the way, I've been
Yes,
saying
I'm here.
Wumi is our customer care person. Okay, so just drop the link to the online sales system so that they see everything and they can be able to select the one they want, okay? All right, so Godwin says, really, this is anxiety, not to pay remain. Please, but it means I need about 75,000 to get all the courses we are discussing here. If I pay before midnight, I can do just one for today, but we'll surely get them this month. Okay, it all depends on you and what you need, right? I always say, like, it depends on you and what you need at this level in your business. So for the starter program, the starter course is 25,000. The pricing cost is 25,000. Then the scaling level, there are two courses there. So the Facebook Ads Bootcamp and the marketing building your marketing and sales team. That one is 25,000, the building your marketing and sales team. But the Facebook Ads Bootcamp, the price is going up by April 30. We already announced that across all our community, our page. I think we'll also send an email on that on Thursday also, right? So the price is going up. We kept it at a very subsidized rate since last year, and it's time to increase. So the Ads Bootcamp is moving from 35,000 to 100,000 by May 1st. So it's moving by May 1st. But from now till April 30th, if you're at the scaling stage and you want to join us, you want to make plans to join before April 30th, because that particular one, the Facebook and Instagram Ads Bootcamp, is moving up by May 1st. Yeah, so I'd love to take questions before we wrap up. So we have 20 minutes to go. I'd love to take questions before we wrap up. I'd love to take questions. Women, I'm not seeing the link. Is it from my own end? I'm not seeing any link. I told you to drop a link so that people can actually go to check out what they need in their business.
I'll drop the link now, ma.
All right, so I'll be taking more questions. Okay, I think I see one coming in now. So what's the difference between the last Ask class and this? Okay, so if you've joined the our bootcamp before, please, you don't need to rejoin unless you want to get the support. Okay, if you've joined before, that's the Facebook and Instagram Ads Bootcamp. You don't need to rejoin it. You have access to the updated curriculum. So, like, Even though the curriculum is updated, you have access to it because you're already an alumni, right? But if you want to rejoin us because you want to get the support from our tech team, because it's 6 week support, right? Then you can rejoin. We have a discounted offer for our alumni, people that have gone through the program before, and that's 25,000. I believe you know that already. So you can rejoin to get support, because the ginger inside the boot camp is not a small thing. Like, there's always this feeling around, like, I'm ready to go all out to market my business and make sales. Like, you see the alerts dropping and all of that. So you can rejoin if you want to. But if it is about getting access to the content, don't worry, you have access to the content as an alumni. Okay? Let me know if that is clear. All right, more questions. You can ask questions around the starter, the scaling level. Nobody talked about expansion level, so I didn't really talk about it. But let me just briefly talk about the expansion level. Just in case people watching the replay are at their expansion level, right? So expansion level is where you start getting distributors to expand your sales. So how do you get distributors? And the kind of distributors I'm talking about here are people that pay upfront before you supply. Because a lot of times people who are manufacturers, they go about begging supermarkets and stores to stock their product, like stock my products after 30, 40, 60 days. Typically between 30 to 60 days, you pay me. So sometimes these supermarkets take this for granted. Even sometimes when they sell the products, they will not remit the products, remit the money. They end up owing these manufacturers. And although there are a couple of supermarkets who are good, who remit money after 30 days or 2 weeks, depending on if your product is moving. But a lot of them hold this money back, or sometimes they will tell the manufacturers, come and pick your product. I don't know if anybody here has had that experience or knows somebody that has had this experience I'm talking about. So sometimes they'll be like, come and pack your product. It's no longer moving. It's no longer moving in our supermarkets. It's close to expiry and all of that. So when I started, I didn't want to go that route. Like, I didn't want to start begging supermarkets. I didn't want to start going around stocking products for on credits and chasing people to get the money. Like, I don't like credit at all. So I decided to do things differently. And what I did was build a distribution network of people who love Marcus brand and are ready to sell, right? So now we have distributors, almost 200 of them, who buy our products and they pay us before we supply them, right? And we also have things that we do to support them to sell. So if you're interested to expand and you want to build a distribution network, individual people, I'm not talking about supermarkets, who will trust your brand, love your brand, to buy upfront, like they buy and pay upfront, then that expansion program is for you. But that program is only by application. It's also on the sales page that Wumi shared earlier. So it's only by application, because I want to be sure that your business is ready to get distributors. The program is not for everyone. It's only for manufacturers that are ready to expand. Okay. So it is a unique way of getting distributors to buy from you, Again, your brand needs to be well built before any distributor will buy from you and pay you upfront. Because distributors are looking at this brand, if I buy it, is it going to sell? They don't want to tie down their money, right? So they're looking at, is it going to sell? Is there demand for this product? If there's no demand for your products, they'll be like, what if I buy it and it doesn't move? So there are things that we need to check first before we admit you into the program. So that if your business is not ready for distributors, we'll tell you the place to get started with first, whether it's starter program or the scaling program, before you now, start putting our call to get this kind of distributors that I'm talking about. All right. Let me see. Okay, Esther says she's interested in distribution program. Okay, so you can apply. We'll review your application and update you. All right. It's been a great time. Says, I'm interested in the distribution program, but the price I saw, 200,000, if I'm right, scared me. It's program for people that are ready to expand. Like I said, is our expansion level program. Okay. So it's not a program for everyone. It's not the right program for people at the starting level. Okay, so it's for people that are ready to expand, because now you've built your brand, you've started really making sales in your business, then you're now ready to expand by getting distributors. So it's an advanced program. I'm sharing my unique blueprint of getting distributors that pay upfront. It's a unique blueprint. You can't see it anywhere online. You can't see the strategy I teach of getting distributors. You can't see it anywhere. Like, one thing about my programs is I share from my practical experience. So it's not something you can Google or even ask ChatGPT and all of that. All right. Okay, so Omawumi. Oh, I took a lot of time to talk about the brand building program. Oh, Omawumi, maybe you joined us late, but let me just see if I can go back and just run you through it. Uh, Let me see. So the brand building program has 4 modules. Number one is market research. How do you research your market to be sure that you're positioning your brand and product well? You're researching your target markets, you're researching your competitions, your competitors, you're researching the market itself, the play field, right? Then you're also researching to be sure that the market you're selling is profitable. Then the module 2 is about brand building and product positioning. I was saying that there are 2 different things: building your brand and positioning your product, right? So we'll talk about how to build a consistent brand, how to tell stories that are compelling, stories that will connect with your audience. Then we'll move to marketing, content creation, and then how to design your sales process, customer service experience, and how to get repeat purchases from your customers in order to increase your customers' lifetime value. So we can all read up about this. Okay, so the link that we shared about the online sales system, you can go through it and read up. All right, are there more questions? Because I'm about to wrap up. Are there more questions? Okay, Abubakar says, what is the cost of advertising on your platform? So we're not an ads agency, so we do not take ads placement from people. Okay, so you might need to reach out to maybe like influencers and people that actually do ads for people. Okay, we don't run ads for people. All right, so the Manufacturers Hub is a training institute for people that are looking to make more sales, make more profits in their business, and build a profitable and sustainable business. Okay. Maureen says, can a beginner pay for the arts bootcamp now and join in June so as to take advantage of the cheaper price now? Sadly. Maureen. I think, Maureen, you've already joined one of our this thing. Pay now and join in June. So we're not. Wait, when is the next bootcamp? Send us a message. Maureen, send us a message because I need to even check when the next bootcamp is, okay? Send us a message. Send us a WhatsApp message, Maureen. Okay? So let's have that conversation. Send us a WhatsApp message because I need to also check when the next bootcamp is. Okay, someone says, what exactly is brand building? I guess you joined late as well. So brand building, how do I explain it in the most simplest way possible? So brand building is building your brand online. So your business would definitely have a brand. I believe that you know what brand is, right? So how do you build your business online? So things like, how do you do a market research to understand the competitors out there, to understand your target market, to understand the kind of content that will resonate with your audience. Then you will now look at how to position your brand online. How do you ensure that your brand's identity is consistent? How do you tell stories that will connect people to your brand, to your business? Then we look at how to create content that will resonate with people. How do you promote your brand and products? Then we also look at how to create your sales process, your customer service, customer experience. So it's basically everything that you need to do to build your online presence, to build your business online. I don't know if that explains it for you. I try to simplify it as much as I can. So everything around building your business online is brand building. So I also love to talk about brand building in the aspect of the experience that you want people to have about your business. What kind of experience do you want people to have about your business? So when they're talking about your business, what do you want them to actually say about that business? What are the feelings, the emotions? Because brand building, a lot of time people mistake it for just visuals, the logo, the color, the way the brand looks, but it's beyond that, because you're talking about your brand values. You're talking about things like the way you put out your marketing content, your brand tone. You're talking about things like your brand voice, your brand communication. So inside the program, we also teach you like how do you define what your brand values are, because whatever values you have would now inform the activities that you do in your business. For instance, let me give an example of Marcus. So our brand values are core values like excellence, integrity, honesty, right? Customer experience. And what does those values that we've defined now help us to do? If you're a marketing person or a salesperson at Marcus, and you know that integrity is one of our values, it means that when a customer sends in their order and says, I've made payment and I'm expecting delivery between 2 to 3 working days, or depending on what the delivery timeline for their location is, knowing that your brand that has that integrity, or you're honest, if you cannot meet up with that timeline, you tell the customer, even if it means you refunding. So all those things you're doing, the activities that you do because you have clear brand values, would now help people to have that experience around your brand. So when they're talking about your brand, they're talking about your brand in a way that it actually like shows that they had a great experience. So I share all of that in the starter course as well. How do you build your brand values? We talk through a lot of values that you can adapt in your business, and then how do you ensure that both you and your people are building your brand based on those values that you've communicated. So beyond the logos, the colors, and all, your brand experience, your customer experience, all mix up how people see your brand. So the perception people have about your business or brand online. I hope that really brings you clarity. MFSC, does that give you clarity? Do you understand it? Do you understand it? Let me know in the comments, okay? Now let me see the comments. Dr. Darren Sola, my friend is here. She already even answered. Brand is how you feel about how people feel about your business. Great, exactly. The perception people have about you and your business. Great. Okay. Do you have more questions? Okay, you understand. Great. Okay, do we have more questions? So we also talk about brand building from the aspects that you cannot jump that step and start saying, I want to make sales, right? Because if you want to build a skyscraper, you want to build a story building, you can't lay it on a shaky foundation. You have to first get the foundation right. You have to get the foundation right before you now start building the skyscraper. Because see, if you build it on a foundation, if you build that skyscraper or story building, depending on how you want to scale and grow, right, on a faulty foundation, it will eventually collapse. It will collapse. So in the quest of chasing customers and trying to make more sales, let's also think about how do I build my brand to be solid first before I now start. Because once you do that brand building work, you will now see that you'll be attracting people to you, you'll be attracting customers to you, you'll be attracting distributors, because what you're offering is clear. Your brand positioning is clear. So when they look for products similar to your product, like when they're looking for the kind of product you sell, your brand comes to mind. You will not see people, you don't start referring people to come and buy from you because you've built a solid brand. So that's the foundation at which every other thing that you need to do would be built on. All right. Dr. Demiso also shared more here. Let me just read it out. From the look to the experience, when people see what comes to mind, when you see Coca-Cola, what comes to mind when you compare it with Biggie? Branding is process where a business makes itself known to the public and differentiates itself from competitors. Great. Thank you for that great contribution. Shane says, can access to the ads video be extended above the 1 year limit, unlimited access? Okay, so what we guarantee is 1 year access. Okay, so even if we choose to extend that access, we do not promise that. So what we are assure you of is 1 year guaranteed access, because really there's really nothing like unlimited access, because tech things, they become outdated. The interface that is here now might not be the interface that it's not even might not be. It's not the interface that is there as of last year, right? So what we promise is 1 year access. If you now have more access more than 1 year, maybe we're still updating it that as of maybe 2 years or whatever, right? Then that is it, but we do not promise that. So 1 year access, and then ensure that the information we're actually giving people access to is updated. Just last 2 months or so, I updated it again because the interface changed again. Okay, so we don't give unlimited access. We don't promise that at all. Hope that answers your question, Shanae. All right. So you can go through the link that Wumi shared earlier. Wumi, please reshare the link. Also share our WhatsApp link. I think that is also important because some people might not even remember to copy the link, so they can click and send us a WhatsApp message. So share the link to our WhatsApp platform so that people can send us a message and ask us any question. Okay. Share the link to Okay, so you can click on this link right now that we are still on this call, and just send us a message on WhatsApp. So if you have questions that you want us to handle, maybe you're not able to get the link to any of the programs that we talked about, just click on it now and send us a message so you can connect with us on WhatsApp. Okay, so I would love to take as much questions as possible. Do we have more questions? Do we have more questions? I'm looking at the charts. Do we have more questions? Do we have more questions, or should we call it a night? So let me just recap. We have 3 levels when it comes to increasing your online sales. The starter level is where you're concerned with building your brand and also ensuring that the product you're selling is profitable. So we have 2 courses under that level, the brand building course and the pricing for profits. Then from starter level, you move to scaling level, where we also have 2 courses under that. The first is the Facebook and Instagram ads course that helps you to sell multiple products every day. How do you multiply your daily sales? How do you sell more products? How do you get daily bank alerts? That's what that bootcamp is about. So it's for people who already have an established brand online, like they've started creating content on their business pages and they're now ready to sell more products. They are interested in making daily sales, right? Then the second program there, or the second workshop there, is how to build a marketing and sales team. Remember, I said that the problem or the challenge that my students have when they start selling more is that they become overwhelmed with a lot of things to do, a lot of inquiries to answer. And we're still living everyday life. Like we have our life, we have our personal things to sort, we have our families and all. If you're a mother, you have your children to take care of. So you cannot afford to just be consumed with business, right? So how do you build a team that would ensure that the same thing that you do in your business when it was just you, they can still carry on with those things that you're doing? You know, how do you actually attract the right people, onboard them, train them? So that's what that workshop is about, right? So typically people usually get it together. You can start to join the bootcamp, then in the long run, decide to get it to understand, oh, now I'm ready to build my team, you know. Then the final level is the expansion level, where you're looking at how do I why Expand. And like I said, it's an application-only program that is for manufacturers and major distributors that are ready to get distributors and wholesalers in their business. So you can apply to that program and would review to see if you're a right fit and would be able to send you the invitation to join us in that program. All right, so that's the 3 levels we have in the journey of selling more products online and making more profit, because the goal is what? Building a business that is profitable and also very sustainable. I can never be behind something that is not sustainable. So I also teach my students how to build businesses that is sustainable, business that even if when they're not there, they'll be able to run it because they're creating systems, they're putting things in place that would ensure that the business runs. They're setting the right foundation that will carry the growth, when they start scaling, So that's what the Manufacturers Hub is about, helping you to build profitable and sustainable businesses. All right, so send us a WhatsApp message to stay connected. Remember, I said that for the startup program, deadline to register is tomorrow, Wednesday, April 24th. I'm mentioning the dates now for people that watch the replay. If you're watching the replay and you want to join next cohort, because once this one closes, that's it for this month, right? And if you now want to pay, it will be joining the next cohort. Right. Now, if you're interested in joining the startup program, like I said, registration closes tomorrow, Wednesday, April 24th. Then if you're interested in joining the scaling program, registration closes April 30th because the bootcamp starts May 2nd. May 2nd. Registration closes April 30th. And remember also that I said that from that April 30th, from May 1st, the price increases from 35,000 to 100,000. We've kept it subsidized for a very long time, right? And a lot of factors have been considered, the updates that we've done, the increased time of the program from 4 weeks to 6 weeks, the intense support to give, and also we are increasing the price from May 1st. So if you're here, you are like, you have an amazing opportunity if you're at the scaling stage to join us at that subsidized price, like the 35,000 naira price point before the deadline. All right, then for the distribution program, you apply to it and would review your application and send you an invite if you qualify. And if we review and we need more information from you, we can reach out to you. If we review and we feel that the distribution program is not the right step for your business at this time, we would also recommend the program you can get started with, right? Yeah. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I had a great time. It's always an amazing thing to share things that I've learned over 10 years of building my business, right? It's always an amazing thing and fulfilling thing for me to do. So good night.